Morning, everybody. I'm your spooky host, and welcome back to not to DK64 Randomizer, to Pokemon Draft League. We are. I should have a different window open for this. Apologies. We're playing Draft League. It gave me extra stuff. How are you guys doing today? We've got a big agenda tonight. We're going to watch match. No, we're gonna play a match, and then we're going to watch plenty more. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm excited for this. I like playing Pokemon Draft League. If you could, son of a gun. I've exited Twitch. Pokemon Showdown, that's what I've exited. Sorry, I'm in a hurry today. In a little bit of a hurry, it appears. We're playing against Chris, and I started too late to do a preview. I'm keeping Chris waiting, so I've got a skedaddle here. But give me just a second to set a couple things up. Hope you guys are. I think I've said I hope you're doing well about 4 times. So at this point, I really hope you're doing well. Like that's just all that's in me right now. All right, let's go. My Discord app isn't opening on my desktop. I should probably make a different tab. That's what I should do. Let's just settle that. Let's settle that right here and right now. We've done it. Good job. Okay. So we need to. He posted in the chat what his name is on Showdown. Unknown raccoons. Are we friends already? Oh, we've moved to this. That's not good. Actually, we could probably expand this a little bit. That's good. Good morning, Pyroki. How you doing? Unknown raccoons. Okay, so there's Discord. Let's bring back up my existing window of Pokemon Showdown. Okay. Friends. What's going on? Do I need to log in? Spooky host. Log in. Don't look at my password. Friends. Unknown raccoons. Now just in here at work as I finish up the day and slowly lose my sanity as you finish up. Yes, it's 5:38 on a Friday. That is rough. All right, we've got our team. We'll issue the challenge. How's it look? How's it sound? Feels good to me. Let's get this muted. We've got it muted. That's good. I believe it's 6 on Friday. That is unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, there's the dark side of my room. Sorry, I just winked to figure out which side of the camera was the one with the darker bits. All right. Should we zoom in here maybe? No, it's kind of yeah, it's probably better for you guys to see something like this, right? All right. Let's see what we've got. Pretty solid team from them. We're looking at Boom once a month. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. All right, I'm getting locked in now. We've got Boom, Alomomola, Quillfish. A lot of poisons there. Gengar. Yeah, this is a serious team, but I think we've got some good answers and such. All right. I think we lead Swellow and like break a hole in the team. What's the bad case if we start Alomomola or Swellow? Like nothing, right? There's my Scarfer in the back, so that's a little dangerous. The other option is Glimmet, but I kind of want to wait until the poison types are off the field first, so I guess, well, he might lead Quillfish first. That's still fine. I have options. I have plenty of options. Yeah, I'm going Swallow first. I'm gonna go hard out the gate. Who are they leading off with? There's the Quillfish. That's kind of expected. That is fine. What happens if I Terra? I think this is a 2-hit KO. But I kind of want to get this. Like, I kind of want to get this off the field. Okay, let's go ahead and Terra Normal. Boom Burst. We'll get some big damage off. Does nothing. This thing's so super bulky. I don't have removal, so we're gonna have to be pretty careful here, but I think we're gonna be okay. There's toxic. I'm fine with being toxic. This is a choice scarfed swallow, and nothing wants to take this. Got a spike up in exchange for a quillfish. I want to get toxic spikes off, so I would like this to die, as well as Gengar. And I'm not super afraid of, like, I do. Oh, let's go, baby. That's a dream come true. That is a dream come true. He was probably thinking, he probably forgot about Scrappy. This is great too. I'm just gonna boom burst. Okay, it's trying to stall me out. I think I don't know. Do I boom burst here? I don't like need this per se. I'm gonna boom burst. That's really good damage. Wish is gonna protect next turn almost certainly. I'm gonna go bolt. Booster energy. There's the protect. Is it gonna toxic? It's definitely slower than me. It would be a bold move to toxic. But if I get a calm mind up, I could probably wrap this game up with Raging Bolt. I think he switches out, personally. If I get Thunder... Yeah, I'm gonna Calm Mind. He could Toxic me, but I'm still gonna do big damage, and this is not my win condition. Not my win condition. Assuming Chris is not listening to me right now. My win condition is Ogerpon. I'm gonna get Toxic here. I'm gonna... Wish! Probably going back into Quillfish? I guess? I'm gonna Thunderbolt. Genesect. That's not good. This is Alex's league, yes. Goes down to the Sash. Is going to get a Wish. What are you going to do to me? I think Thunderclap might kill you. Because that did a lot. This is Alex's league. This is week 2. We are 1-0 currently. I'm against best win condition metronome. Your opponent can't predict your strategy. If I don't know what I'm doing, then my opponent can't know what I'm doing either. I don't care if you're a mind reader. So we got Raging Bolt here for a big... I'm not going for MVP Raging Bolt or anything. So if he attacks, I think he dies. There's Big Thunderclap. That's a kill. And now what does he do? He goes boom. Could get a big... I think I just Dragon Pulse here. I'm fine with taking whatever. There's Grassy Glide, yeah, for priority. There's the Pulse. So what I was going to do here... Well, imagine winning a match just Metronome. I think it would be fair for your opponent. My wife's been watching these guys online who play a lot of Pokemon. And they're doing... They've done a series where they do straight up like tournaments and playthroughs with each other with just Metronome, which is a blast. So you just kind of like draft a team that's like focused on like what stats support like the craziness of Metronome, and that's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. PM7, I think. The gag is that it's like two guys whose names are both John Michael, so they do these John Michael events. Holy Bolt. Yes, yes, Solaire Bear. Bolt taking names. Also very excited to play with you in the other league very soon. Gonna get the big Thunderbolt off here. There's the Toxic. I think that should have happened earlier. We've got Armarouge. Can't be Focus Sashed. But I also can't kill. Do I want to get greedy and try and... Well, what do you do to me? What do you do to me? And I have Enhanced Special. I'm gonna Thunderbolt here. You're gonna Calm Mind. Does this work? You're paralyzed. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the great rematch of the century. That's game. All right, that's a 6-0, dude. Let's go. Holy moly. All right, I'm gonna post that in the Discord really quick. Thanks for watching that. That was a wild one. Thank you to Chris. I will, GG. I didn't expect the... I'll say, sorry about some of the crits. Would you want... I'm gonna keep it moving. Yeah. Would you want to interview on stream? Zero pressure. Yeah, we need to post. Need to do the post really quick. Hope you guys enjoyed that match. That was pretty wild. I had a good feeling about that one, though. The matchup felt good, but I thought it was going to be Ogerpon to get the job done. I was not anticipating it to be Raging Bolt, quite frankly. So the thing here was that Ogerpon speed tied everything on his team, so with almost perfect coverage. How are we handling the crit bug? We're just rolling with it. I mean, the Draft League World Cup is just like, they're rolling with it, and that's like the highest stake game of all time, so that seems to be the case. Alex hasn't said anything like official about it. That's a good point. Pyric, said I missed all of it while trying to figure out why something wasn't working. Well, no biggie. I will post it in the Discord if you're interested. Not sure I have something in files. Assuming you have Discord and a voice channel or something. Sure. It would, I'll say either Twitch chat or the voice chat in the server. Whichever you want. May or may not watch, depends on what kind of time I have. Well, Pyroki, any time you're hanging out or participating makes still want to watch me get wrecked courtesy of Elrocked. Yeah, it's there. It's on YouTube. Maybe I should post that. But I appreciate any participation. You're one of the beating hearts of the haunted homies. That's what I would say. Oh my god, Enigmatic Raccoon. That is Chris. Thank you very much for following. I appreciate that, and thank you for a wonderful match. Yeah, I haven't seen your team sheet yet, but what was like... I guess first, like, what was your approach? There is a glitch right now. I mentioned the crits because, like, Showdown has a little bit of a glitch where crits are a little bit more aggressive. But yeah, that's just why I mentioned that. Worst case, Pyroki says, I at least try to join the streams no matter how brief. Well, that is very much appreciated. I'm gonna take a picture of this and also show Chris here. Let's post that. Talk about it a little bit. Where did my... Having two windows here feels a little foolish of me, but we're doing it anyways. And we want to get the Poke Paste. Make sure to post your Poke Paste so people can copy your teams and practice against you. It's very polite. Alright. Well, we got that. Yeah, so I was just gonna ask basically what, like, your approach to the match was and, like, what you were... kind of like what your setup was. My idea here, full team. I will show my whole team in a moment. I'll show it right after this. A good question. Yes, after interview. Oh, if I hide it, it goes away. That's so lame. Yeah, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna do a week 1 review of, like, the league and watch everybody's matches. So you're gonna get to see some, like, fill matches and stuff. So, my approach for this match was basically to support Ogerpon Hearthflame, because I saw that Gengar was the only one who even had the same speed as Ogerpon, and, like, Genesect 4 times weak to fire, Rillaboom weak to fire, Quagsire weak to grass. It was, like, perfect coverage, really high attack with Ogerpon. So the whole thing was to set that up. So I was like, all right, I'm like, what do I need to do? Well, I need to kind of break some holes on the things that would... I kind of want to get rid of Gengar, was the big thing. I really wanted to get rid of Gengar, because then I could not worry about the speed tie, I could identify Scarfers, and I could get rid of the poison types, so I could set up, like, Glimmet, and then, like, it'd be, like, guaranteed Okos with this. But I sent out Swellow, and, that was probably a little bit of a surprise. Swellow's nasty. Swellow's really nasty. Enigmatic Raccoon says, still learning this and was more focused on what I was doing than countering. General idea was kind of get down spikes and start poisoning things. Use Quillfish and the fish as walls. That makes sense. Well, you didn't have a lot of time. Who let me have Swallow again? Well, we had a lot more points this time. I guess like Matt or Noah could have stopped me. Or Phil, yeah. But they didn't want to go for I think a 2-pointer. Yeah, not too bad. Well, I have a lot of empathy for you this week, Chris. With once again, thank you for joining the league to fill that spot we lost. And it is, yeah, picking up a team you didn't draft, and then having to deal with multiple matches in the week. I was just doing the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire one online, and I tried to do 3 matches in a day, and I lost all of them. I think like you just like part of being good at draft is like really lasering in on your matchup and like hitting all the angles, and when you have a lot going on, like that's really tough. I know you didn't have much time to prep until later this week even, so kudos to you and thank you for a good match. You remember last league you got stalled out and slowly drained by someone with Ella Momola, and that stuck in your mind? That was Nick with his stall. His approach was so aggressive. Well, no, it wasn't aggressive. I think it was really tough for people to get around, because it was like, okay, I've got these physical walls that can like pivot and set up spikes, and it's like really hard to break through. And then these cleaners come in at the end. It was the Misdreavus Paradox form and Roaring Moon. Super nasty. Yeah, I think everybody else got stalled out by that Aloma Mola. It was really tough. But yeah, I guess, but here I saw an opportunity to set up with Bolt. I almost went with Grassy Seed Raging Bolts to get like a defense boost and survive longer, but you ended up going for the Toxic approach, which I think was the better approach. Alomomola made you have a 92 turn game last season. That's excruciatingly painful, and I'm sorry for your loss of time. Man, my lighting is not very good. Yeah, that is wild. It happens. And you thought you had that game bet. But yeah, thank you for a good game. I think that's a fine approach. I don't have like that many flying types. I just happened to bring them this time. Thanks for a good match. Do you have anything else you want to say? Well, if you ever need a scrimmage, or if you want somebody to do mock battles with, you can reach out, and I will, when there's time, I would be happy to help you prep, for example. Anybody who wants help prepping, I would, unless I'm like helping somebody prep and then like their opponent is also asking, but I'm not that popular, so I wouldn't expect that to happen. I don't think I would do that, but happy to help you. All right, cool. Yeah, thank you for a great match. Let's take a look at the season. Let us take a look here. We'll go back to Discord really quick, and we'll do a quick overview of the. I posted everything right. Yeah, there's the 6. Oh, I should have put. I should draw silly pictures there. That's the cool thing to do. Alright. Oh, I need access on this browser. Son of a gun. Okay. Let me just pick a different browser really quick. It'll be fine. Don't worry. We have a solution. All right. That ain't it. Here, we'll shift. Discord, here we go. All right, so we'll go back into the docs. So this is for the Pick Your Pocket Monster League Season 5? Season 5 Draft League. I'll do a really brief... I don't know if I've gone into it on the stream too much, but I'll go into my team a little bit. I ended up with a... What, a 17th pick? 17th round pick? Out of 24. So that's like pretty significant, right? It takes a little bit to get there. So I knew it was a later pick. I knew I wasn't going to get the stuff I wanted at the top. So my whole draft was kind of, okay, what's going to be left when it gets around to me? Build a team based off of that. This is Scarlet Violet Nat decks. With some pretty aggressive mons at the top. 110 points. You've got stuff like Pheromosa and Qianpao and Gouging Fire up here. We just did that low tier league, and you can see some of them here in like the 13-point range. You've got Hisuian, Gudra, Crocodile, things like that. And then we'll take it, if you take it the whole way over to the other side, you've got things like Little Swellow, Butterfree. Yeah, that's kind of what the board looks like. So my team, basically, I wanted Pokemon with options. What I really liked last season about, or kind of what in both my leagues so far, my favorite thing is just like being able to do something different constantly. And I did not get that with Pheromosa, so I focused on being able to do that with like a couple of my other Pokemon. So that's why I went for Golden Go next, and Mew. Golden Go resists like the flying types that get Pheromosa. It can paralyze things, so I don't have to worry about like Scarfers trying to outspeed Pheromosa. And it gives me like a good pivot. Galarian Moltres and Raging Bolt do as well. Yeah, 4 Terra Captains. So I like to draft like really top heavy. Just because I feel like stuff at the top is good for a reason, you know? So I looked for deals at the top. After I got Golden Go and Mew, I'm like, okay, what is still a crazy deal? And Ogerpon feels more like kind of feels like a 17 or an 18. Raging Bolt feels to me like an 18 or a 19. Treat Mew better than I did. Such a Swiss Army. It can do so many things. Yeah, I thought about bringing it this week, but I had too many other things I wanted to try. Mostly that Ogerpon looked too good, but so one thing I did notice with your team is the it didn't feel like there's a lot of ground resists. I know you didn't draft this team, so maybe it's something to adjust, but like first thing I thought of, I was like, man, if I get up like a Dragon Dance with Mew, Gengar, Tinkaton, Quillfish, Armarouge, Magnezone, Barbicle all get like wrecked by Earthquake. So then you get like, I don't know, a Flamethrower to deal with Rillaboom and Genesect, and Tinkaton, Thunderbolt to deal with Alomomola, and something to deal with Gengar, and you've got everything covered in one. Or you couldn't do that many moves, but you could cover like most of it in one moveset. Especially since nothing really resists ground except Rillaboom. And obviously that's tricky with Rillaboom, like having Grassy Surge and stuff, but that was the first thing I kind of thought there. But Mew can do so many things. Freaking I do like your grounded poison types though. Like I wanted to get out there with Glimmet at the beginning, and I couldn't. I simply couldn't, because you would just soak up the toxic spikes. So that's a good strength. But yeah, I drafted top heavy, and then I was like, okay, what am I still missing? I'm like, I need more Levitate support. Weezing's neutralizing gas is super. It's way better in Draft League than I initially thought. Just because so many of these guys are like the point values that they are because of their ability. Like, you can stop a Moxie sweep. Like, you're not you might get a Moxie boost if you kill something, but like for example, like Tinglu's not getting like the minus attack thing when you have Wheezing out. Like, no tinted lens on low kicks, which like makes it what it is. So that's really good. Hisuian Avalugg, you got a Pokemon who has like pretty sick stats and just the worst typing in the world. You give that thing Terra and it's like, now you're good. And I think Hisuian Avalugg is good. I think you can make it pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you get rocks. You got Custat Berry sets with like strong ice moves, earth or ground types moves with Earthquake. You can spin and also like Terra Ghost to be a spin blocker. Trick Room support. It just felt like a lot. Swellow's my draft league goat. Used to be Blastoise, but I didn't get Blastoise this time. It just didn't fit. I would say I do have a weakness to hazards. I was pretty scared when you started off. I was like, oh my god, I'm not going to be able to break through this. I'm not going to be able to break through this Quillfish in time. He's going to spike up, kill me, and then I'm just going to get, like, dragged through the spikes ring. So this team definitely has, like, I have options. I have options for hazard. Pheromosa can rapid spin. Mew can defog. Weezing can defog. Hisuian Avalugg can rapid spin. So, like, you can't, like, just think I'm not going to be prepared for hazards. But it's not, like, an auto thing. Like, last 2 seasons I had Blastoise, and I bring it every week and just kind of, like, make it a utility, like, flip turn, rapid spin tank guy. Yeah, but I set up Glimmet because I've got the best spin blocker in the league. Golden Go blocks defog and spin. Mew also is really good at hazards. I've got like 2 of the best hazard setters. And then, yeah, Swell is just an absolute monster. It's good speed control, boom burst, Terra Normal is like ridiculous. It's pretty crazy. I adore Swellow. Let's get into... I'd say let's get into matches here. Any other thoughts or questions? What do you think, Solaire Bear? What do you think about this whole thing? We'll get into replays. So there are some matches yet to be played. So that is a thing to note, but we're just gonna go through and watch all of them and talk about them. And that looks pretty good. We'll line them all up. So still a couple matches to be done. We'll do them in reverse order of however they're displayed. That's okay. But that's what we're doing for the stream today. We're going to watch all of the matches and commentate. And boy, do we have some matches. I just heard my wife call my dog out. She must be misbehaving. My silly, silly dog. Alright. Let's get going here. We've got Joshua. No, I need to actually look at the Discord to make sure I have these teams right. So let me pull this off because I need to look at the team results and stuff. Okay, good. Okay, so my wife had to redo her week 1 match because she picked a wrong Terra and she re-won, which makes me very pleased. I'm very proud of her. I'm very proud of my wife in many ways, but that is one of the ways. All right, so week 1 results. This is, I believe, oh, it's gonna be tough in this view to see everybody's name. Is this Luke and Alex F? No, I think this is... I'm still learning the different teams. This is not Jackson and Solon, is it? No, that would be Team. I have to just check this, see who it is. This is... Oh, this is like the first... There's no team sheets posted for this. There are not team sheets posted for this. So this must be... Oh, I can see here. Never mind. I've got it. Do not worry. No, they haven't posted... Is this a week 2 game? I'm really confused. It's Greg. It is Greg versus... I think it was posted in the wrong channel. Oh my god, there's more matches going on right now. This is crazy. Big Friday night. This is Greg versus Josh. Okay, that's who it is. Both people in the league that I haven't played with yet. So, excited for you guys. We've got a very obvious Sun team. And incredible respect for getting a squad like this. This is incredible. To get a Sun team like this in a draft league, you're protosynthesing. You've got 4 Paradox guys in Glamora. Like, this guy came with, like, not only his pistol loaded, but he's got his machine gun. He brought the whole armada. He filled the back of his truck with guns. And he is here for vengeance. I think that... I don't know if that's Greg or... Oh, that's Josh, obviously. So Josh is the Sun guy. So, definitely expecting... like Torkoal lead. I'm gonna I kind of take my brain out and pretend I don't know what goes on in these. I would expect a Torkoal lead here to foster photosynthesis for all of these, or a Glamora lead to get the hazards out. Looking at Greg's side, I'm seeing that they're all grounded, right? And I don't see great removal other than Empoleon. So Toxic Spikes looks pretty good. I know there's a couple steel types, but I think that's fine. Yeah, you get a couple of spikes down, and you can really take this team over the wire. And then, like, Gouging Fire looks pretty strong, especially if that's, like, a defensive one to, like, kind of hang on and make them switch out a little bit. What else looks good? Actually, I kind of like, what's the little... I like Slitherwing here. Well, we got great fighting. Fighting looks so good into this team. Especially if you've got a speed boost from photosynthesis. That's great. And then Greg's team here. What am I doing? I'm probably anticipating the Torkoal lead or the Glamora lead. So I think I would like to... Torkoal or Glamora. I think I'm happy to either... I don't want to lead Gardevoir and get nailed with a big poison type attack. I think I might go Greninja at first and either scout things out and you turn out, or try and knock out the Glamora with a big water type attack, because you do resist the poison stab. I think that might be good. Let's see how this goes. I'm just gonna take it at a slow pace and we'll talk over it. Oh, we don't want no sound. Muted. Okay, here we go. So he does leave with the Empoleon. I think it's a fine choice. And gets off a big Earthquake right off the bat. We're going to see he goes Body Slam. That's a surprise for me. Maybe going for the Para, but I would expect a stronger stab attack with Gouging Fire. Dragon Claw. Either predicting a switch or is getting used to Pokemon. Either of those two could be a possibility. Empoleon's a good defensive type. We also don't have the Sun Up. I think one of the key things you need to do on Sun teams here is use Torkoal and get that Sun Up and really use it. Get those speed boosts, get those stat boosts, and then use those stats that get boosted pretty well. So I think Walking Wake tends to be more of like a special attacker, and particularly when you get that Sun boost, you can fire off big hydro steams and stuff like that, and that can really turn the tide of your battle. This Torkoal does not have Drought. You definitely on a Sun team want to have Drought. I would say that would be really up the game. From Greg's side, seeing some fine switching. Knocking out what you can. Going for a little bit, yeah. I mean, you're playing a little bit from behind, so going for a bulk up here is not terrible as long as you outspeed. Unfortunately, missed the dual wing beat. That could have been very big, but I kind of like the idea, getting aggressive when you're a little bit behind. That's really cool. And you can see Greg switching out here quite a bit to counter the... I mean, whatever comes in. I wonder if maybe Josh could take advantage of that with Glamora and some of the spikes and stuff. But gets a nice kill with high horsepower. Sandy Shock's having some good bulk there and survive him. Blaziken's getting to come out and Gonna take a big hit from a big crit from a crunch. No biggie. Good earth power there. Good earth power, and it is not. That's right. Blaziken does not learn crunch. I was fooled. No drought is wild. Yeah. Definitely with this team going forward, using drought is going to be a key factor in winning. Set up for success. And there's the toxic debris, which is pretty good. Definitely going to be set up for success once the sun is up. Another note about Facade is that it only does double damage when you are affected by a status condition. So the big thing about Facade is you want to be in a situation where either you've equipped an item that statuses you, or you believe you're going to get hit with status effects. And you also have a special or a physical attack stat to back it up. Sets up the light screen to maybe put up a final stand. There's an energy, there's a special attack that's pretty good, but it's going to struggle against the fire type. Toxic spikes are starting to pay off, and the Rock Terra will put an end to that one. So good game to Greg, and a good game to Josh as well. We'll try this. Check this next one out. We've got, I believe, Pat versus Molly. Molly, returning veteran of the league. I believe Pat is new. And we've got some interesting Pokemon on both sides here. We've got the Togetic and the Galarian Corsola, and that's so much fun. We've got Shuckle, Ting-Lu, and Drake. This is like the funnest team I've ever seen in my life. That is so fun. And you've got Lurantis Contrary. You've got this chonky Corsola Galar, chonky Ting-Lu. I'm guessing like a Shuckle lead, maybe a Shuckle league. You've got mostly grounded Pokemon and a Togetic on the other side, which isn't going to be a speed problem. So it's probably not a bad idea to set up your webs right away. What do they remove with? I think they remove with, I think Delmise might get Rapid Spin. But, there's probably ways to deal with that, so. Let's watch this. It's slow speed. We've got Molly's signature guy, Toxtricity here. Gets up some toxic spikes. I like that. Nothing here resists the toxic spikes. Doesn't get greedy. Just goes for it. Must not have a poison move either. And there's the Defog. I did not know Lurantis got Defog. I might have considered putting another toxic spike up there, because I don't know what Lurantis does to you. You've already seen the knockoff. Big Vicious Rend is going to take out the Toxtricity. It must have been a slow, bulky Toxtricity. And we've got Togetic now, who is going to Terra Fairy and barely survive a Vicious Rend. Counters back with and kills with a Dazzling Gleam. Wow. Impressed to see that out of Togetic. Not even fully evolved. And there we go. We got incredible chat going on, by the way, on the side here. Nightshade from the Galarian Corsola. Nice when you're so bulky and not bad. Taking a Rage Fist from freaking Annihilate is crazy. And getting the burn off. This Corsola has already done its job. Get an Ice Punch, which is going to do nothing, but gets frozen. That is truly unfortunate. Solar Bear says, I love Toxtricity. Drafted that season 1. Yeah. Toxtricity's like cool. I mean, I guess that's his vibe, but like Electric Poison, that's cool. Sound based. He's like a punk rock guy. That's fun. And gets another Will-O-Wisp off. This Galarian Corsola has put in the work and done its job. Now you've got this Crook with reduced attack because of the burn. And it brings in the bundle. Super scary and dangerous Pokemon. And is going to switch in with the Arcanine and just get blown to smithereens. Yeah, that 4 times weakness, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, that's so funny. And Hydro Pump, that's the big problem with Bundle, isn't it? It's you gotta hit Hydro Pumps all the time. That's so scary. I wonder if you could utilize like Gravity on a team like this to increase like accuracy or something like that. Just because Hydro Pump is so unreliable. But if you do get it off, it's huge for Bundle, right? You would love to have Surf on this guy. But the battle's definitely going to Molly's favor right now. Brings in the Ting Lu, which I believe will do, yeah, a fine job, walling it out a little bit, and gets a big payback off. And now it's a Burnt Crook, a Togetic, and a Delmise, and the Delmise looks pretty good into the rest of these guys. There's a payback, only going to do 40%, so there's probably going to be a couple. Yep, there's the Power Whip. A miss there would have been tragic, but a hit she gets. Big Power Whip. That's an unfortunate roll of the dice. Frozen. Yeah, absolutely. Especially on, like, I don't know, I feel like you expect to see that on, like, an Ice Beam, not like an Ice Punch. There's the Power Whip to end the game. Nice Power Whip. Crazy, cool, very cool to see the Delmise just, like, go to town. That's very cool. So, good game to Pat and Molly. Next, we've got, I believe this is Big Man Cosmo. That is one of the new players who's been playing a lot. Is that Diego? Yes, it's Caleb versus Diego. Caleb, obviously the returning champion of the league. Super scary. And look at this team. Look at this dang team. You've got what I believe to be Terra Rotom Fan, which is like actually kind of popular right now. Uxie, a draft league, like GOAT, just like utility, defensive strength. Keldeo can run physical and mix sets. Spectrier, big ghost damage. And where's the ghost resist on this team? You've got Qian Pao, who really doesn't want to take a hit. So this is definitely scary. Iron Treads, you've got the ability to spin. This is well balanced if I've ever seen it. You can set up hazards. You can. What a well-designed team, Caleb. Wow. On the other side, we've honestly got another beautiful team too. We've got a spinner here, who can also do rocks. We've got Zapdos, a staple. Clefable can make sure that the opponent doesn't run away with the game. Probably handles Spectrier a little bit. Heatran's a classic. Gastrodon can set entry hazards, and Qianpao might be one of the most dangerous people in the format with the dual stab combination and Sword of Ruin. So honestly, two really good looking teams going into each other. Let's watch this match. I think, what do I want to do? If I think I'm a little worried about bringing in like Clodsire right off the bat. I kind of like the idea of scouting out with Rotom Fan. No. Because you don't want to Volt Switch either into the ground types. Keldeo doesn't look too bad, actually. Keldeo looks like a pretty good matchup. Then on this side, Volt Switch, there's still two ground types, so the Volt Switch doesn't look too good. Maybe an Excadrill lead looks kind of good in this team. I don't know, though. Clefable? Maybe? Let's watch. I don't know. Ah! No music. Alright, we've got Excadrill start against Uxie. Those are two classics. Excadrill with the balloon is going to get tricked and end up with a choice band. And unfortunately is going to be locked into it, but is going to, later is going to have very big attacks with the choice band, I'm sure. Brings in Qianpao. Just in time for the Reflect to go up, which is not going to get the job done because of the Reflect, even though it's so strong. Yes, very neat. Power Up Punch Uxie. Incredible. Probably designed for this situation. So that's some really good tech on Caleb's side. Keldeo's coming in here. Is going to Trailblaze. Just like seeing a switch out obviously on the other side, but it's probably going to switch out here. Yeah, what do you do about that? Zapdos is going to have nothing it can do against Clodsire, so you pretty much have to get out of here. That's going to give Caleb a free turn to get up like Spikes or something like that. And then here comes Gastrodon, who's going to be able to come back and probably hit with a ground type move, but you have to be careful about one of the Levitators. Yeah, there's that. You might have set up Spikes on that turn to punish the switch because you knew it was coming. Zapdos is here, gonna fly above everything, that's fine. The light screen comes up. This is dual screens Uxie with Power Up Punch and one other move, probably Psychic. No, it's Trick. It only has Power Up Punch, so you're not really scared of it. It's been... So now Zapdos loses Boots, so Caleb's gonna look to get the Stealth Rocks up with Clodsire this turn. Probably. Is gonna take 0 damage from a Hurricane because the light screen is up. And gets past the Confusion, which is pretty impressive. Yeah, the trick with the choice band is pretty neat. Usually it's with like a scarf, but you'd be scared to do that to like an Excadrill or something. And now this Excadrill is going to do like the biggest earthquake of all time, maybe. Or it's going to do something for one of the flying types. I feel like at this point, no. Okay, so you go for what's in front of you, which like I get, but I feel like getting a little bit behind at this point in the entry hazard war. So what you might have wanted to do is actually spin there. And we've got another trick. We've got the triple trick. So Gastrodon has a scarf and is now going to take some poison damage. And boy, does that hurt. That hurts. But I guess you're Fastrodon? Yes? No? And now, okay, he's going to switch out and is in the same position as before. What do you do against this Clodsire? You've got to switch out again. Goes into Excadrill. Can you get a spin off? Do you take a big earthquake? Is Caleb going to predict that? No, goes for the toxic spikes. I think you got to spin here. Are you afraid of Glastrier getting set up? Maybe. Does Caleb immediately switch? No. Is going to take a big earthquake. I think it's worth it. You've still got all of your guys alive, so you can do stuff. Even though you're Gastrodon. I would have sacked the Gastrodon there, I think. Goes into toxic spikes. What are you going to do against this Clodsire that will hit you with a big poison move? Will it hit you with a big poison move? Does it have Sludge Wave? No, sets up rocks again, and Excadrill's not coming back in. Oh, that's rough. Don't know if that was a prediction of a switch in or what, but that is truly unfortunate. We've got Heatran coming in here, gonna take the biggest earthquake ever, and survives thanks to Shucka Berry. Good tech there. Maybe did not know that Clodsire is poison type or predicted a switch in. But there's going to go the Heatran, and now things are starting to look a little bit more grim. Zapdos, again, does not really know what to do against this Clodsire. No reason for Clodsire to even leave. And does leave. I guess predicting. I'm not sure. I guess it wasn't really... Clodsire can't really do anything to Zapdos either, maybe. Iron Treads comes in, is going to get confused with the Hurricane, but... And Iron Head's not doing much. I guess, like, Caleb has Zapdos problems, too. Like, it comes in, but... What are you going to do about it? Is there, like, a Sludge Wave on this or something? Oh, and it's going to switch out, and maybe it's afraid of a Toxic or something? And switches back in, is going to take more rocks damage. Must have second-guessed. No. Saw the Earthquake coming. Are you going... Does this... What is the last move on this Clodsire? It stays in on the roost. Okay, and that's a tricky situation, right? Will there be a roost now? Hurricane is going to do no damage to Rotom, which is like 4 times resistant. Will-O-Wisp is going to miss. Actually, some bad RNG for Caleb this round. U-turns out. It's a little bit of momentum in the Clefable. Is this... No, it took damage. This is... No, it didn't. This is unaware... Or this is Magic Guard. So you can keep switching in with Clefable, which is pretty nice. So that is an option. Switches out. Is going to take more damage. That's a lot of switching. Oof. With that many hazards, and is gonna get sacked. I guess was going for a type advantage there, trying to kill the Rotom Fly fan, and then Clefable comes in on Spectrier. I think that's the best answer. Wisely switches out, and there goes. I wonder if it's like a slack off on this Clodsire, which is why it hasn't been attacking. Keldeo comes in on the Zapdos, is gonna outspeed. Yes, Liquidation. And Liquidation looks pretty good against the rest of the cast, too. I don't think this is locked in. It had Trailblaze. It definitely isn't. Big Liquidation, and you're getting rid of a Spectrier wall. Moonblast is going to do some good damage. And now, there's the Terra Fairy trying to go for the kill right now. And survives a nice close combat. So I think Keldeo is going to go down, which is good. There goes Keldeo. So you've got a 4-3 situation with a lot of hazards and some weak Pokemon at this point. Spectrier is just going to clean up, I think. What do you do? What do you even do? I don't know. I wasn't there. Excadrill does get in, but cannot Rapid Spin. against the Spectrier, and also doesn't outspeed. Oh, it had a band, not a scarf. That makes sense. And Grim Nigh is just gonna take it. It's just gonna. This horse has gone off to the races, folks. This horse has gone off to the races. Well, good games to Diego and Caleb. Next, we have what I would call the match of the week. I would call it the match of the week. This is Alex versus Crazy Steve. You might know Crazy Steve as one of our haunted homies who's joined the league. Well, we've got the match right here for you. Alex, the commissioner of the league. For context, like, Alex is good. Only person that beat me in the regular season last year. Always just like really good. Steve is like more of like a Nuzlocker and just like has been playing for a long time. But he's, you know, he's when you're playing those like crazy Nuzlocks and hacks, like you're in the grind there. You gotta be prepared for every match. You gotta know what you're doing, and he does. So we got a really cool match here for you. I love Terra Rhyperior. I think it's super scary, and I think there are just some matchups that just kind of wins. Like, its bulk and its attack is so good. Especially if you give it some special defense. Rest sets, it's pretty nutty. Great Tusk on Steve's side was the #1 draft pick that I wanted, but I couldn't get it because Steve took it. But it's okay, because I think he's going to do great things with it. Incineroar, great, like, pivot, threatening Pokemon. Honestly, both teams brought their A game to this one. This Articuno could also be Terra, and you've got the screen support with Ninetales Alola. Actually, not like the most threatening team in the world, but a chunky team. Zamazenta is obviously pretty scary, but we'll see how these two folks take this. Let's mute the match and play. Going to lead off with the screens. Get faked out. I assume. Just give it a second. Yeah, there's the Aurora Veil. Goes for the Flare Blitz, expecting them to stay in. And that is going to remove the Aurora Veil support for the rest of the time. Rhyperior comes out. Great Tusk is going to wall this pretty well, unless it's got some crazy Terra. Drifblim comes in. Crazy Steve predicts the switch and sets up rocks. I need to slow the speed down. This spooky balloon starts calm minding, and what I didn't know is the ability Flare Boost. I didn't even know this existed. It's special. It's freaking special guts. I had no idea it existed. So this Drifblim is going to set up on Crazy Steve. Crazy Steve goes for a Thunder Wave to just kind of slow down and limit the turns of this Goodra, hopefully getting a couple more turns off to set up Calm Minds. And set up a big Hex. That's incredible damage against a special tank like Hisuian Goodra. That is crazy damage. It's unresisted, but still. So, beware everybody. Drifblim is no slouch. Still a turn of Aurora Veil, so Steve is going to have to deal with that. Goes for a quick Volt Switch to get some chip before going into the Ogre Pond to try and take some damage here. That's really good bulk. Really good bulk on Ogerpon. Impressive. To live a Hex with a boost and like the pseudo guts boost there. That's incredible. Is he going to get a kill with the Ivy Cudgel? And we've got a pretty tight match. And now Ferrothorn's in, which is a little bit scary. He's going to U-turn and get Iron Barbs. But do some damage there. Incineroar comes in, obviously threatening a fire attack. You've got to expect... So there's the body press. That's going to do some good damage. And then you've got to expect to switch to probably the Rhyperior here. Protects. And Steve goes to the Flare Blitz. I don't know if this is banded or anything, so we'll see. I don't recall him commentating over this pretty quick. What did Dog do? It's Zamazenta time. That is going to be tough to deal with. Takes a Flare Blitz and... he's going to die because of it, but that's kind of nice because you get the momentum to go into Iron Cran. I probably would have gone Enamorous there. That's like a free... To me, that feels like a really good Moonblast. Or not even Moonblast. I say threaten Moonblast and go Mystical Fire into the Ferrothorn. That's probably what I would have done. But I'm not in the heat of the moment there. I'm just some guy in the future talking over this. So maybe I'm a prick. Who knows? Close combat. Articuno takes the Future Sight attack and gets pretty weak, and there's a kill for Great Tusk, who would normally be threatened by such a creature. That is a low speed, definitely a low speed Articuno. Rhyperior comes in, and are we going to see the Terra? We do. It's Terra Ground, which is going to be tough for Great Tusk to break through, but does an impressive 31% against this defensive Bulwark. Red card knocks it out, and unfortunately it goes into Ogerpon. Actually, fortunately it goes into Ogerpon, so he gets to keep his Enamorus. Great Tusk comes back in, trying to save the Enamorus for last, and goes for a headlong rush. Is going to take huge damage from the Avalanche, but is going to be able to get one more hit in before... I'm running out of breath. Is going to get one more hit in before the kill. And then Zamazenta comes in, and you've got a Pokemon faster than you. It's going to kill you with the Crunch. And here comes Enam, and depending on the set, this could go a lot of ways. What do we have? We have a Moonblast. That is Scarfed because it outspeeds the Zamazenta for the most part. I know that for a fact. But very tight match here, but what are you going to do against Ferrothorn? You pretty much need to have a fire attack, so... a tight but unfortunate one. Gonna get stalled out by Ferrothorn and lose, but what a beautiful, crazy match. Really great plays across the board. Smart plays. Awesome. Awesome stuff, gang. Alright. We've got Jackson versus Solon. This is a... So, I believe it's Jackson's team. Super aggressive. Look at this. You've got Zangoose, Kartana, Cloyster, and Chiyu. That is... And Haxorus. That's so aggressive. This is a scary team. And Meganium, because it looks good into it. I guess Meganium's pretty good counter for, like, Rotom Wash. Then on the other side, you've got a pretty well-balanced team here. You've got somebody who could do entry hazards. You've got priority. You've got a pivot. You've got... a big attacker, you've got a wall, and you've got a spinner. That's pretty well balanced. I like that team a lot. So how will the balanced team fare against the hyper offense team? That's the question. So let's go and figure that out. We've got Cloyster. I wonder if it's going to Shell Smash right off the bat. That's the question that interests me. It immediately Shell Smashes. You've gotta have the Mirror Herb. You have to have the Mirror Herb on your team against Cloyster. PSA to everybody playing in this league. Consider bringing Mirror Herb against a Cloyster or anything that can Shell Smash. Just consider it. He's going to get Earthquaked. Can't actually totally get it done against the Mamoswine yet, but probably will with the next hit. And... might be able to respond with a Hitmontop Mach Punch or a Scissor Bullet Punch. Here's the Hitmontop. And we don't have Mach Punch. Okay. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Going to get messed up a little bit, but no Bullet Punch. Okay. Probably... Bullet Punch is really good on it. Like, part of the reason Scissor's value is so high, like, part of the reason the points are there is because Bullet Punch is so good. And that keeps you safe when these sweepers start to go to town. Kartana's going to come out. Going to get a... I can't believe that did... I can't believe that killed that. That was 4 times resistant. Kartana's crazy. Going to get a big Leaf Blade off. Sash on the Alakazam. Great to handle these offensive threats with some kind of pressure. Goes for a resisted Psychic, I guess, over the Focus Blast, which would be unreliable. Ally Switch. I think that's for doubles. I think it's for double battles. And then Umbreon's going to come out and is not going to be able to solo this whole team, even with its great bulk. And this is going to be a quick match, folks. This is going to be a quick one. And we've got Rotom Wash. Gets Leaf Bladed and dies. Good game to Jackson. Good job. But a good game to Salon as well. Happy to have you in the league. But that's why Kartana is so dangerous, man. Alright, next we've got... Oh, another great game. This is Phil versus Noah. Both a couple of dangerous folks in the Pokemon world. We've got classic Phil with his, I No. Classic Noah with Trick Room shenanigans. I've been in 3 leagues with Noah, and I've never seen this guy walk around without a Porygon 2 in his pocket. His pants are falling to the floor because he's got this heavy Porygon 2 walking around with him, and it's so slow and heavy. So he's got his Trick Room shenanigans. You can see the Stack Attacka here. You've also got like a sand thing going on, which is crazy. So this is Trick Room Sand. Who keeps letting him draft Hatterene and Porygon 2? I think it's a great question, Solaire Bear. We've got Phil here with a much more balanced approach. You've got the Moltres physically defensive, but still threatening with that special attack. Not you this time. Yeah, that's true. You have no blame in this matter. You have no blame at all. Inteleon, good speed control. But this speed might come at a cost, right? Because you're dealing with Trick Room. You've got a way to get rid of the spikes that might come out from Ogerpon Cornerstone, as well as Stack Attacka. Gliscor's just amazing. And then Big Dynamic Punch Man, Machamp. Let's see how this goes. Big Nugget is going to start off strong. Goes right for the heavy slam. He's like, I don't want this guy setting up Trick Room. And there goes the Hatter and sacrificing one of the Trick Room setters to get in Big Stack Attacka. Immediately, Terra's goes for the Big Terra Heat Crash. And a Body Press is not going to do it. And it's going to hit Weakness Policy. And now... Oh! Good Custap Berry. Very good Custap Berry. And now you're dealing with Big Stack Attacka with huge defense. All these buffs. But will not be able to break through Gliscor. A great counter. And now you're dealing with Porygon 2. He's going to have Ice Beam almost certainly. So Bulk Bogan comes in. Takes the Ice Beam pretty well. Some good bulk. And with the Psychic, goes for the knockoff Bullet Punch. I don't know if I wonder about the roll. What would a Dynamic Punch would have looked like there? Scorching Sands. Gets the burn off, which is pretty nice, but is going to take a big Thunderbolt. This Porygon 2 is putting in work once again. What a shame. Flamethrower is going to finish off, which is nice. Maybe predicting a switch in with the Scorching Sands. Is going to get the burn off against T-Tar, which is nice, and the knockoff is going to knock off the boots, so Moltres is probably not coming in once any kind of hazard comes up. Ice Punch is going to figure it off. Nice safe play into a potential Gliscor switch in. And now we have that, but he knows that the Ice Punch is there. But with the burn, is not going to be too afraid of that. And the Sand is also kind of a nice favor to Gliscor. And now we've got a 3-3 with Gliscor healing up. Ogerpon's going to be pretty threatening with the big Ivy Cudgel. There comes the Earthquake. And this is going to be a tough one. Is healing up 25% a turn, which is pretty good. But Ivy Cudgel does have a high crit rate, and that's a little dangerous. But is going to get off a lot of damage against this Ogerpon. I don't think it does Synthesis or anything, so it's probably going down. Ivy Cudgel, I think it barely survives. So Gliscor does win this, but now you're struggling against Stack Attacka and Iron Moth. What do you do against this Iron Moth? You have to... So at Fiery Dances, do you... I feel like you sacrifice Leaves. Because you kind of need the Gliscor against Stack Attacka. But he decides to sack that instead. Is going to get killed by the Sludge Wave. And now Iron Leaves comes out. Court Drive Speed, and is going to be too slow. And will die to the Iron Moth. So a very good game. A very good game to Noah there. A very good game to Noah. But a very good game to Phil as well. That was a tough one. We've got... This is... Other Alex versus Luke. We've got Other Alex versus Luke. We are looking at... What time is it? 6:39. We're cruising. We're looking at the Electric Terrain team. This is the opposite of the Sun team. We've got all the future Pokemon. And the Electric Terrain. Always happy to watch Phil lose, Solaire Bear. I won't tell him you said that. I won't do it. I wouldn't do that to you. Oh, I thought about going out to get beers for this, but I didn't feel like leaving the house quite yet, and I was kind of in a hurry. But if I did, I would have gone to get Southern Tier beer. By the way, I just wanted you to know that. That's what I would have chosen to do. You'll tell him yourself. It's a little sassy. That's funny. All right. Well, we've got some pretty big threats on both sides. Urshifu, obviously, with those big crits and decent bulk and high attack. Great pivot in Galarian Slowking. That's one I had my eye on. You've always going to be scared about Belly Drum Azumarill. And Zygarde's potential with a big Dragon Dance looks absolutely terrifying here if I'm the other team. On the other side, you've got Pincurchin, who's going to set the electric terrain. I'm going to expect a terrain extender. And then all of these guys get Quark Drive, meaning they don't necessarily need the booster energy, which means you can run like iVal with like a booster energy, or like a Scarf and a booster energy, or something like that, or a Band and a booster energy, or a Life Orb and booster energy, which is pretty crazy. Same with any of these guys. So this is Luke truly has a terrifying team here. Blacephalon is fast and explodes, and like Swampert's just kind of a nice fill-in for things. So I think kind of a tough matchup for Alex F, but if you get that Zygarde going, you might have something good here. Let's get this cooking. Got the Azumarill to start off with. Against the Swampert. Tricky matchup, but some good bulk. I was going to go for the Charm to make this a little less threatening. And then the Pincurchin comes in, threatening its own electric attacks and setting up the terrain, and the Charm comes in, trying to reduce this guy's attack to smithereens. I'm expecting a switch out now. Yeah, it goes in the Slowking Galar to take a big electric type attack, and the Rising Voltage is going to do an insane amount of damage on that Slowking. Goes for the Sludge Bomb for a nice counter. You do want to get rid of this to save yourself from the rest of the team, but a Zygarde switch initially would have been really nasty. And pretty good damage on the Swampert. You probably want to get out of here and save this, but you get Ice Punched and die, which is pretty unfortunate. So now the big threat on this team is gone. Pincurchin can still come in and set up the electric terrain, and this Bisharp gets off a nice priority Sucker Punch to take out the Swampert. Azumarill with Belly Drum is looking pretty good if it can get in here. Houndstone is going to be nice to take this big... Oh my god. Wow, that was so much damage. Electric Terrain. Holy moly. Who let Luke draft all of these guys? Who let it happen? It was me. I let it happen. I could have stopped it, but I'm here complaining. What the heck? Alright, and we've got Charm, which is going to reduce the threat of this Iron Hands, because these hands are flying around. Urshifu comes in, and it is going to take a Thunder Punch pretty well now that the electric terrain is down. Comes in with a big close combat, and is going to lose some big health from that, unfortunately. But maybe another close combat's not going to do it. Is going to get probably Drain Punched again for like 1,000,000 damage because you're 4 times weak, even with Eviolite. That's a little bit rough. And there's the Terra Dark for a big Sucker Punch, but it's going to be resisted, which means it's not going to do too much. There's the Drain Punch. It's going to take out the Bisharp, and this guy is in a very good position. Urshifu comes in, is going to outspeed, but is not going to be able to do it in one attack. Gets a crit on the Drain Punch, which is big. Might be able... No, not going to be able to do it. Oh my god, 1 HP. Almost survives, and a Drain Punch will not be able to do this without another crit. So Urshifu goes down, and suddenly it's a Azumarill, which seems to only know Charm against the world. I would say this match is pretty much over at this point. Pincurchin could do it from there. So, good game to both of you guys. Alex and Luke, what a blessing. We got 4 games left, actually, because another match just happened. There was a rematch. There was a rematch of Sierra. No, never mind. A different match happened. Oh my god, my wife has won her week 2 match. That was it. That's incredible. Great job to my wife. We'll watch that next week. We will not watch her versus her week 1 opponent, because that still has to rehappen. Alright. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for the congrats. She's playing other Chris this week. So, very exciting. Big Chris week in our household. Alright, so here we have Jaden, who's been on the grind, versus versus the very same Chris. And this Chris, pretty scary team brought here this week. Holy cow. You've got Latios, Darkrai. Well, that covers everything. That's like, I mean, Assault Vest, that's kind of tough. Yeah, Assault Vest from this team would be pretty good. Yeah, because you're only... Well, Como is still pretty scary, but so a lot of the top threats go down, are manageable if you've got some good special walls and Assault Vest. A little bit of an ice weakness here, too. A little bit of an ice weakness, and I don't see anybody here to abuse that. Tapu Fini would be able to. I think Tapu Fini looks actually insane into this team. Oh my god. Tapu Fini was an incredible pick for this team. You better hope that thing is like... You gotta get that thing cooking. You have to get Tapu Fini cooking on this team, and you can make it happen. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. What have we got? We've got Garganacl. Garganacl is going to get drain punched by Darkrai. That's some bold tech. Is going to see the Rocky Helmet, and I imagine is going to get out of here. No, it's going to stay in and drain punch. And is going to get Rocky Helmeted again. Salt Cure comes out. Garganacl is going to attempt to win a slow match against Darkrai. And Darkrai is determined to break through Garganacl. Would probably... Unless this is attack invested, I'd imagine that a dark type move would... Like Dark Pulse would probably be doing more here, or a big Focus Blast. But very cool tech. Very cool tech. Melodic comes out. Is going to be a lot more threatening to the Garganacl. Probably going for a water type move here. Yeah, Scald. That's going to be good. Can't get burnt, I don't believe. And is going to get Salt Cure. That's going to do huge damage. But is going to stay in for the sake of defeating this gargantuan creature that unfortunately is just going to recover. What an absolute monster. What an absolute beast. Big Protect coming up. Big Protect. Scald. Another 25% Melodic is gone. And suddenly you've got yourself in a couple of problems. Lando T comes in. You could set up your own rocks. You could Earthquake. That probably makes sense. Takes out the Garganacl, which has plagued him for so long. And here's the Tapu Fini, which can just do whatever it wants. It's going to Calm Mind set up. That feels a little bold, but on predicting the Stealth Rock, that's awesome. Got to go for the Ice Beam here, which will knock this out. Calm Minds again. That is, I don't know if you need that. And Draining Kiss. Oh, does that have priority? Does Draining Kiss have priority? No, I don't think it does. Anyways, that is crazy. Draining Kiss. Can't take any... No, that was great. I don't know anything. This is incredible. And does less than I thought, actually, to that Latios. But is going to take 0 damage from this Latios, which is probably like Specs or something. And now you're looking at almost full health. You're gonna have to break through it, I think, with Talonflame, right? Because its special defense is so high. Yeah, it's too late for the Shadow Ball. You're gonna get Draining Kissed and you'll die. That's unfortunate. And you've got, what, Lando T coming in? Does this thing even have Ice Beam? It hasn't even had to use... Okay, Steel Wing. Oh, that's certainly not gonna be enough. You need to do a big... this thing's probably bulked out in defense then. That's probably what's going on. This is probably max defense Tapu Fini, which is scary to break through. Wow. Lando T comes in. Maybe a big Earthquake will do stuff here. There's the Scald. No Ice Beam to be seen. If it is going to survive, and the burn is going to mean that it can't. Oh, there's Sandsear Storm. That is also not going to do it. It's a especially defensive guy. Unfortunately, that's going to be it. A very good game to Jaden, and a good game to Chris. Next is my week 1 match. We did this on stream, so I'll keep this a little bit quicker. But it's myself versus Judah. In this match, I had a couple things. I was like, okay, I need to... The mouse hold is in the household, and I need to stop that. So I brought Wheezing with neutralizing gas to stop the to stop Technician and Rocky Helmet to soak up the to do damage back. I brought Pheromosa to pivot around with a Life Orb to be able to handle Salamence as well with Ice Beam while also doing physical attacks and outspeeding everything. Raging Bolt is just amazing, I've learned. This creature is incredible. Big Assault Vest pivot, Galarian Moltres threatening. This Mew is a setup Mew, I think with like Dragon Dance or something, I feel like. I can't remember. And the Golden Goat here. I wanted to start the season strong, and I was, quite frankly, a little scared of Judah, so that's what I did. And there's some scary mons here, obviously. Big Rockhead, Tyrantrum. Oh, you know what the Mew is? The Mew is Mirror Herb in order to switch in on a Torterra Shell Smash, which doesn't actually end up happening. But let's watch this one really quick. Not really quick, it wasn't like the fastest match ever or anything. But here comes in Big Pheromosa against Togekiss. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't beat this yet with an Ice Beam or Poison Jab, so I'm going to switch out. I need to see if it's Scarfed, because that Pheromosa was fast enough to beat a Scarfed Togekiss. So I trick here, trying to see what it has, and I get Boots, and it gets a Scarf. And now it's Scarfed with the Flamethrower, so I'm kind of like SOL. And I'm like, I'll just sack this, but he decides to switch out. Oh, never mind. So I switch out into Moltres Galar in order to hang here. And soak it up with the Assault Vest, and that is what I do here a little bit. Galarian Moltres is it's just got the special bulk for it. Togekiss comes in with that really good type advantage, and I'm going to take an Air Slash, and I just want to get this thing down. If I can do some good damage against this Togekiss, then I've got a shot at just going to town with Pheromosa here. So, I decided to U-turn to get something in safely. That's the biggest thing here. So I get Pheromosa in. I'm like, okay, I'll just keep chipping away at this. Another 12, another 5, whatever it takes. Get Golden Go back in. I take another Air Slash, which is fine. And then I'm going to threaten whatever's coming in with a move. Just in case it stays in and he decides to sack it, I go for the Make It Rain. And I only get a little damage off against the Aegislash, which is fine. Get some pretty nasty Moltres set. If you want some deets, DM me? Yeah, I'll DM you, dude. Getting some tips from the great Austin? Oh, I've already said your name on stream. Because we did the stream where I played against you. Yeah, I'll definitely ask you for that. I appreciate that. So Torterra comes in. I set up spikes, and then I'm like, okay, it's Mew time. We're gonna set up on this Shell Smash. Counter the whole team, and then he goes for Bullet Seed, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'm just... No worries, you don't mind name drop. Yeah, it's tough because there are people I like know, like people I know in real life. There are people I'm like comfortable with online because of, oh my god, my wife is on an absolute tear. What an angel. Oh my god. She has just beaten Jeremy in the rematch, which means we get to watch it together live. Absolutely incredible. When we first got married, I was like poking around Pokemon and stuff. We were in Columbus for a little trip, and there's the Pokemon championships were in town at the convention center, and I was like poking around the idea of going, and she's like, hey, you know, I like Pokemon too. Like, it's okay to enjoy that. And now it's like half of what we talk about. Marriage is good, folks. If you get married to a person who's good to be married to. And I've done such a thing. Now, if she didn't like Pokemon, I would love her just as much. But you know what I mean. You understand. Anyways, there's a match going on in the background. So I'm trying to get rid of this guy too, because pretty soon Pheromosa looks like unbeatable with the speed and the Life Orb. So I bring Pheromosa in to see what's going on. Volcanion comes in, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I can beat that in a single attack, so I'm going to U-turn one more time to get some good damage off. And I'm going to go ahead and switch into the Raging Bolt here, which I know can take the dual stabs pretty well. It's going to go for the Explosion, but Raging Bolt's so bulky that it doesn't really matter. Togekiss comes in, and I know I can take it out. It's scarfed. I just go for the Thunderclap. There's nothing else you would do here. And then we've got the Tyrantrum, which is going to also go down to the to that. And then Bing Bang Bong, the Raging Bolt goes to town and gets the job done. Tidy Up is going to get rid of the spikes, which doesn't matter, and get a little boost. It will survive a Volt Switch. I wanted to get out of here just in case it started to tidy up too much, and like get away with it. And the Weezing comes in as the counter and handles this pretty well with the Rocky Helmet. So good match to Jude on that one. Final match of the week is Matt versus Doug. Matt with the mono normal team plus Jolteon. Always has one Pokemon of the other type. Actually picked this up just to spite his brother, Alex. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty hilarious. Against Doug's team, really threatening. Passimian's super scary here. King Gambit is King Gambit. Meowscarada is crazy. Snorlax is a pretty solid team. I'm also getting kind of tired. Let's watch this. We've got Dun Sparse up against Passimian. You're already in a bad position. What do you do? What do you do against Passimian? What do you do against a single fighting type? Is going to Glare to get some. I'm against Matt next week. I can't wait. It's always a good time with Matt. He's such a good player too. The reason he does this is because he's so good and he needs a challenge. There's the Drain Punch. Passimian is just going to. Well, with a big crit, Dunsparce will go down, but it was trying to get some paralysis turns to stay in there and roost and probably roost and boost. Intimidate's going to come in, which will boost the Passimian, who is paralyzed, which is good, but is only going to do neutral damage against this deer, unless it has U-turn. Slayer Bear says, Ursaluna Blood Moon was your gosh in season, your goat in season 1, I'm assuming? What was, like, the strategy around that? Was it, like, Trick Room? Was it just, like, doing big hits? Drampa comes in, and the Meowscarada is going to take little from a Flower Trick. And the Meowscarada is going to get blown away with that Hyper Voice with the Throat Spray. Clever Tech here, and is going to stay in, I guess feeling threatened a bit by this Drampa. And is pretty chunky, but now is going to have to face his Flygon, which could hit with a big Outrage. Terra Fairy, and goes for the Earthquake instead of a Dragon move, which is pretty clever. Very clever on Doug's part. Ursaluna Blood Moon comes in. This is Solaire Bear's goat from Season 1. I just learned that. You just learned it too, probably. And is going to go for a big Blood Moon against Snorlax, who soaks that up pretty well. Not as well as I thought. Not as well as I thought, but soaks it up pretty well. Earth Power in between. And here comes the Curse, but that's not gonna do it for you. You're too slow. You're getting Blood Mooned again this turn. Yeah, and the Snorlax ends up being a little bit of fodder, but that's going to let him bring in something else that's threatening. Sylveon comes in and is going to threaten big fairy-type attacks. Yes, it can't take 2 of those. And is going to take an Earth Power just fine. So this is pretty tough. Goat. Yeah, I just figured. Yeah, autocorrect. Kind of a wiener sometimes. There's the Baltimore Bolt. Does not Terra Normal. That's a little shameful, but... No, I'm kidding. So it's gonna... the Alluring Voice is a little surprising here. I guess it's choiced, and it was like, it has to be able to take out everything else, or something. I feel like Electric would have been better still. No, Flygon. Yeah, duh. Meteor Beam, Terapagos to try and bring it back. Terra Shell is gonna give it a chance here. But the special attack drop definitely hurts a little bit. There goes the power boost. And my voice is starting to get squeaky. We got Flygon coming in. Is probably going to do big first impression to do 38 damage. That's not bad. Terra Starstorm. Going to do most of the damage. And then there it goes. So good game to you. Good games, Doug and Matt. And finally... Finally, we've got ourselves the rematch, which just finished between Jeremy and Sierra. So, muted. Let's see how this goes. So I helped prep with this. A little bit. Sierra's the mastermind. She's got some good stuff cooking. But I have some knowledge here. So this is Assault Vest Primarina, which kind of handles the Dragapult. The Arbalva kind of handles a Rotom-Mow if it comes in. No, that's the Thundurus. Handles the Rotom-Mow a little bit. Celesteela is pretty dangerous, but it's all about setting up this Roaring Moon to go to town. Some big walls, and then some scary... This is like super... I guess this is like balance on the other side, right? You've got two incredibly powerful offensive threats. A couple tanks, and then like a utility mon or two. So let's see how this goes. I don't know yet. I've never seen it. So Chris going to start out with... Or Jeremy starting out with the Weavile is going to go up against the Arbalva, and we get the Terrifier immediately. Arbalva, some people consider, you know, a Terra Legend if you're Poké-AMD, and is going to get almost back up to full. Goes for the knockoff to get rid of the leftovers, but is going to take a big Terra Blast and die, because Arbalva has really good special attack. It's like 135 for a 4-point mon, which is crazy. Toxpack comes in and takes a huge Earth Power. Arbalva able to stomach the super effective Scald and can go for another Earth Power to get the kill. Arbalva with 2 kills. Pretty incredible. And our low tier go tier is just making it happen. Altaria comes in and is going to go Terra Ground and gets off an Earthquake to take out the Arbalva, but that's going to give Sierra a nice switch-in opportunity here pretty safely against the Arbalva, which is also pretty tame. Primarina comes in and basically is going to get a free Ice Beam against whatever it wants. Everything here is weak to Ice Beam, and is going to take 88%. You're not scared of this either. Sucker Punch is not going to do much against you, and you just get another free Ice Beam, which is pretty crazy. Corviknight maybe comes in next. Corviknight comes in, and this is a little bit more threatening. Going to take a big Brave Bird, but Primarina lives it pretty well. I guess that's not that surprising. Corviknight isn't like the biggest like physical threat. It's going to take Rocky Helmet Chip, but Cinderace comes in, and now you're like, oh my gosh, what do? I'm getting Pyroballed. Pyroball unfortunately misses. Maybe that's not a good move or something. Maybe the accuracy is just not great. I don't know if it's good or not. I don't know much about Cinderace. I'm not that fond of it. But switches out, and Hippowdon's going to take a big Pyroball. Get the Sandstorm up. Cinderace is going to U-turn out. Pretty good damage for a U-turn against Hippowdon into Thundurus. Risks maybe getting Stone Edged, but you're not going to get Earthquaked, so I think that was a pretty good switch in at the time. Going to take a big Grass Knot and go down. Depending on if it's any kind of choice item, it might be in a bad position now because it doesn't, not going to do anything. Oh, actually, it's a ground type. So that's not too bad. Celesteela is going to come in and is not going to be threatened by this at all. It's going to go for a Dragon Dance. That could get scary. What do you do against this? Is going to take no damage from a Facade because it's not burnt or anything. And goes for a Leech Seed, which means you're going to have to switch out or get wrecked. Switches out to the Corviknight, and the Corviknight is going to... Was that a Predict? Get out of here. Oh no, it was ground type. That was probably just the neutral move. Either way, that was pretty sick. And yeah, you can just flamethrower until the cows come home. You're going to out PP stall this. So this is free. You might even get the burn off. And you can like do, yeah, you could do like something there, but that's pretty much a wash. I don't know what you do against Celesteela here. Quite frankly, I don't know what you do against Celesteela. Maybe it just... Celesteela was recently called the GOAT of Draft League by the steel type goat of Draft League by OG Albina, classic Draft League YouTuber. None of these flamethrowers are burning, unfortunately. I guess it's only a 1 in 10 chance, but it's gonna go for another Dragon Dance. We know the coverage isn't quite there. Facade, Earthquake, and Roost. Okay, so it's gonna have to try and kill Celesteela with... Oh, this has to be so frustrating. It's just switching and roosting and... but this is a game you're going to lose, I think. It was a very long end game for sure. Yeah, you're doing what you needed to do, though. Congratulations. Incredible 2 matches. Very proud of you. Yeah, you just flamethrower and you Leech Seed forever. And, like, what does it do? Like, a +6 Facade's not even going to do that much damage to you, I don't think. Right? What do you... Like, I think this is the... Like, it's the right play on Jeremy's side, but... I just don't... I don't know how it pans out. 4 Roosts left. Let's skip a couple turns. You're... Oh my god. +3 Facade without a status effect. You almost don't want to burn it, right? Because if you burn it, you double the power of Facade. Did you, like, realize that at any point? Or did you run out of flamethrowers? No, you just started doing that because it was doing more damage. Wow, that is long. And now, out of Roost, so it's just going to Dragon Dance, try and get off as much damage. But that is a 16%, 3.5 attack Facade. Whoo! And that's going to kill with the... That's going to kill. You didn't really care. You were just like, come on, people. And then you just... Yeah, Brave Bird comes out, and now Jeremy's probably trying to end it as well. Flamethrower comes out, does about 40. Brave Bird, chip down, 1 more Flamethrower, and that's the win. Leech Seed, yeah, that's good too. Just lock it in. No more Roost shenanigans. Stop it with the shenanigans. There's the Roost, never mind. Now you got Flamethrower, Leech Seed, and... Actually, you could... Oh, no, it's faster than... Oh, yeah. You could technically Earthquake, too. I don't know what would be better. Flamethrower is probably better. There you go. And there's the Flamethrower. Congratulations. That's a big win. I will wait until next week to watch your other match on stream, but congrats. That's huge. Sorry for just blowing your eyes up with bright light, by the way. Anyways, some spoilers here, so sorry about that, but... The league is going good so far. Sierra and myself and Noah are all at 2-0. Got some folks... Got a lot of games to still wrap up. But we're looking good here in the Johto League. Probably my best start to a season so far, but I've had... I think I've had some fortunate matchups. I'm up against Matt this week. Matt, who is extremely dangerous and scary. That is over here. Here's Matt, Jolteon, Terapagos, Ursaluna, Blood Moon, Cyclozar. He's got the normal guys. Dapper, Dunsparce, and the normal folks. So, looking forward to that match. I can't wait to prep. It'll be fun. Yeah. Anybody have anything else they want to talk about with the league? Otherwise, I'm going to give my throat a rest because I've streamed for like 4 hours today. Why am I treating this like a meeting? It's my stream. Alright. I think we should go raid somebody. I think that would be fun. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We'll be back. Probably not this weekend. I've streamed like so much. We'll be back this Monday with more Donkey Kong 64 randomizer. The league will go on. We are 2-0. Sierra's 2-0. And things are going great in this league. It is a wonderful league. Thank you all for joining. Solaire Bear, Enigmatic Raccoon, Slender. Always an absolute blessing. Let's go raid somebody who's on that I'm following. It is Pixel Shake, Codename Geek, Spike Vegeta, Omega Ventus, Let's go raid Omega Ventus. Please, if you would like to, please drop that the haunted homies are here when you get into the chat. And everybody have a wonderful evening. Goodbye, and thank you so much for joining. It was a great night. Bye-bye.